I wanted to get on here real quick tonight and just show you how to make a fall door sign. This is a 10-inch wooden round that I actually got from Hobby Lobby. It came in a 3-pack that I ordered online. I have a plaid ribbon that I'm going to use, the black and white ribbon, and I'm going to put on the side of this sign along with my fall floral. I'm going to have that going along the edge, and then I'm going to have a text on this side saying happy fall, y'all. So I'm going to make this look like wood planks instead of just a solid piece of wood. So I'm going to show you how I get that effect. And I just have, as far as supplies, my hot glue gun is ready to go over here. I'm using my Waverly chalk paint, the white, and then I have black acrylic paint and a dark gray as well. So I have a thick brush, and I'm going to start off by painting this a solid white. And with this being such a thin piece of wood, as far as getting your hanger on the back, I usually use a thick piece of twine and just hot glue it onto the back and then secure it with a staple gun. So I'm going to use this piece of cardstock paper just to put my paint on to blend and all that. So I'm going to take some of my white out and I'm going to brush it on here. I'm going to take a very little bit of black with a smaller brush, just to scoop a little bit out of here, and just put that into my white. And then I'm just going to brush them in together. Don't do too much. And we're just going to lightly drag it along our sign. Add a little bit more black to it. Just wherever you're missing that look, just brush over that area. Alright, so it already looks rustic. So that's how I'm going to leave it. You can keep playing with it if yours is not turning out exactly how you want it to. Just don't brush it too much and don't put too much white paint on your brush. Just keep it thin and add a little bit of black each time and just fan it out, and then gently kind of dry brush over your sign until you get that rustic look. So now we're going to take a thinner brush, and I have a super thin tip brush that I use. This is my go-to brush. This thing has seen some days, but it's my favorite brush. So I'm going to dip into my black, and just brush it onto your cardboard or whatever you're using for your paint palette. And then I'm going to add some water to it so it's really thin. And now either you can try to freehand this part, or if you have something that you can guide yourself. If you have a ruler, then you can use that exact spacing of that ruler. I have this piece of wood that I'm going to use, and I'm going to do the exact spacing of this so I can try to maintain the right spacing with my lines. So we're just going to, I'm going to turn this way so maybe you guys can see it. So we're just going to lightly go along this. It does not have to be a solid line. It can be fading in and out, and that gives it that rustic effect. So we're going to add a little bit more water. I'm going to put my board back, so I should not have picked that up. Okay, so now we're going to do the bottom side of this board. Just make sure it's still lined up. And we're just going to gently run along our board. Then you can bring it down, line it up with that line you were going with, and then do it again. And my hand is not the steadiest. You'll see I have went down a little bit right here. But don't worry about that if you did the same, because it's no big deal. This is going to be a rustic sign. We can go back and touch up these little imperfections. So now we're going to add our board back, and I'm going to do my last line down at the bottom. And there we go. So now we have all of our spacing for our wood planks of what we're going off of as far as what our wood planks are going to be. So now I'm going to add more black and a little water with it. And we're just going to try to go along and just easily darken some of this. Make it thicker in some spots and thinner in some. If you have a very unsteady hand like I do, you can hold on to your wrist like this and just place it either on your table or on your leg, however much space you have to work with. I don't have a whole lot of space to work with here. But that helps you do a little more steady. I'm making that a little thicker right here. I'm going to go back and add a little bit more thickness here in the center. Just try to offset it a little bit on how the others look. This is where I went down a little too far, so we're going to thicken this part. And we're going to add a bolder line here. Same for down here. Now we have all of our lines. I will try to show you guys. So this is how it looks so far. So now, just to give it even more of that wood effect, we're just going to gently, with our same watered down black, and just do a little bit of edges on here. So I'm just taking, and I'm just kind of going at this. Don't really have a set. So I'm just trying to just do some little random wood grain lines. So I'm just going to add some more water to this and make it even thinner. And I'm just going to add more of these effects to this wood. I'm just dabbing along. If you just try to barely touch the wood and just pick up on it as you go. So I'm going to, instead of using the gray, I'm going to get this coffee latte. This is in acrylic paint, multi-surface paint, or you can use any type of acrylic paint. Really, that doesn't matter too much. I'm going to find one of my rough brushes. So you'll see it is a rough tip brush. We're going to take some of this brown, and I'm just going to brush it out onto here. Make sure it's not clumpy on your brush. So it's more of a dry brush effect. So now we're just going to brush along our sides. You can do it where your wood grain is if you'd like. You can do it right along your line. Just gently do that, completely dry brushed. I'm going to take some of my white and black, and we're going to brush it out. I'm going to do a little dry brush on it. And we're just going to brush along and make it more worn looking on these, around these spots where I've done the paint. Just kind of helps blend them a little bit in to make them look like a wood effect. I'm going to brush over this sign a little bit. Now it looks really, really rustic. Go back and bold some of my black again. Okay, so I think that's how we're going to move forward on this one. I think I'm happy with how that looks. Just close up all my paints because I have a tendency to knock these over when I'm trying to work. So we're going to move all this stuff out of the way. Alright, so now we're going to take our ribbon. I'm just going to pull it out some because I don't really know how much I need, but I'm doing a little loop here. This is going to be the center. We do one loop. And then another one, like that. And then another one. And again. You're just steadily folding these under like this and grabbing. And then like this and grabbing it. So you're just pinching all these loops right here in the center. And I think I'm going to do one more. Do one more right there. So I have just enough left of this. So now we're going to take our little fall string here and we're going to run it through the center of our bow. Bring it on this side. I'm going to push down just to hold it. It would be better if you had like a wired string. It'd probably be a lot easier to do this step. So I'm just going to tie it. I'm going to do a double knot here. And I have another piece over here. This part I'm going to slide through. I guess this is how long our bow is going to be, so I don't want it too long. So we're going to come back through. We're right here through the center of our bow. Let's see how long I want this. So probably about right there. So I'm going to cut off this much. So it's kind of equal. And now we're going to run our string back through here. Over top of that ribbon, and then we can tie it on the back again to secure it. Oops. Okay. So you run around to your back, and then you can pull this one down so it's on the bottom. This is where we're going to tie it. And do a double knot on this one also, just to hold it in there. And now we can do our adjustments and just fan out our bow. So and if your bow is wired, it also helps keep their form a little better. This one doesn't have a wire in it, so it doesn't really hold the position, but it's still cute. And when you go to hot glue it, you can attach these like fanned out more on here. I don't know if I'm going to keep that. So right now I'm just going to go ahead and cut this off, and we'll probably put that in the background of our floral once we get to that part. Okay, so now we're going to bring our sign back over here, and I'm going to position this on here. Yep. So I'm going to go ahead and add my glue. Do a little drop of it, and push that down and secure that. And now we can work on our bow more. Oh, there's our bow on it. So now we can start adding the floral around it. Okay, so this is what I think I'm going to stick with. I have all of my flowers attached. Okay, so I have my text already cut and ready to go. I'm using vinyl for my text on this one. I'm just going to try to place it. I'm going to flip it over to the back. And now I'm going to attach my string to hang it. So I use hot glue, and then I also use my staple gun just to be sure it holds up, to secure it on the back. So there you have it. We have our rustic fall door sign. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next video.